I'll tell you what. Been working on this for a little while. Got to shout out Mark O'Brien and some folks for kind of helping us put this together. And we're going to talk a little racing today. It's all going down, right? It's all going down. Summit Motorsports Park, formerly Norwalk Raceway. It's all happening this weekend, and we are lucky enough and excited enough to talk to racer Austin Prock here live on this Thursday afternoon, 1310 WDPN. Vroom, vroom. Austin, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Not much. Just wrapping up media day today. I've been in Toledo running around news stations from 8 a.m. till now. So this is my last one. I'm finishing up promoting the race this weekend and excited to stand on the gas tomorrow.
Awesome, man. All right, well, you got 5 seconds. If this is your last one, you can get out now and you don't have to do it. 3, 2, 1. All right, you're in. Here we go. All right, I'm excited for you, man. I'm excited that you're going to be back in Norwalk, and I know the 2026 season is starting to get a little bit of an uptick for you. How excited are you now as we stand in June, midway through the year? Take us through the year, the season so far, and where we're at and where we're headed.
I'm really excited right now. I feel like that the last 4 races, we've had a race car to compete for wins, and we've been tightening up the points gap that we created earlier this year. So, it was off to a slow start, but, switching teams and coming up with a whole new program and all new parts and pieces, it just took a little bit of time to learn, how each part wants to be tickled, essentially. So it's really coming along. We got our first win 7 races in Maryland, and the weekend before that, we went to the semifinals, and we've been to a few semifinals since. So I'm excited. I feel like this could be another standout weekend for this Ford Racing team. Looking forward to tomorrow. There's some weather coming in, and they're going to move the sessions up, I believe, for any race fans that are coming out there tomorrow. We're going to run funny car at 12:30 and then 2 o'clock, I believe. So moving the schedule up quite a bit. Not going to be able to see those night runs, but some racing's better than none.
Absolutely. Austin Prock is our guest. Okay, that was the next thing on my agenda here. Talk about the move with Tasca Racing, and I was just kind of reading a little bit about it, Austin. It looks like this revolved all around family, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The last 2 seasons, we've won the championship. I've been racing with my dad as my crew chief, my brother Thomas as my assistant, along with Nate Hildahl, and this whole Ford Racing team. So, we had an opportunity to move over to Ford Racing and keep my family racing together and have a little bit more longevity of racing together. We signed a long-term contract with Tasca Racing and Ford Racing, and we have 5 years to guarantee that we're going to be racing together. So we're really excited about that, and we're building a dynasty, we call it. We're redoing the race shop. We're building a fabrication shop to build our own race cars, mount our own bodies, build our own exhaust systems. We're in the works of designing all of our own parts. We're going to build short blocks, cylinder heads, superchargers, clutches, you name it. We got dynos being installed at the shop right now. I worked on that all last week, having an off weekend. So, we're just building something that we believe we can go out there and dominate with, and having Ford's backing and Motorcraft, PPG, BG, everybody that's involved with this has been great to work with, and Ford Racing especially, having those resources to all the engineering. My brother's an engineer along with the crew chief. So, having that avenue to go down has really been helpful, and we're excited for, our first year racing together. Got our first win, and we plan on trying to go for a 3-peat and win a 3rd championship in a row, and really excited for the future as well.
Awesome, man. Austin Prock is our guest. So the family lineage in racing goes back nearly 100 years. I was reading about from the Indy 500 to racing John Force, and now, you doing the driving. And it sounds like there's a lot going on here, Austin. It sounds like right now, 7 days a week might not be enough to get everything done that you need to get done.
No, it's not. You wouldn't believe the hours and effort that we've put in since we started here just over 6 months ago. So I'm really proud of how hard everyone's worked. And, putting in all that effort and then not seeing the results that we wanted to early on in the season, that can be mentally straining, and everybody kept a positive attitude and just kept picking away at the plan that we came in the door with. And, that's the results you get is when you stay on course and you keep working hard, keeping your chin held high, the results will eventually come. You can't beat hard work. You put in the effort, the results will come. They might not come as quickly as you want or anticipate, but they will come. And we're starting to see the fruit blossom on the tree right now. Like I said, we have a really competitive race car, and this is a great time to have one. We're halfway through the season, and it's go time now. We're going to start pressing.
So obviously you are very familiar and you have had some really cool success at Norwalk. What is it about the Norwalk Raceway, now Summit Motorsports Park, that kind of, gets the juices going for you a little bit?
Yeah, well, we always love coming here. Bill Bader and his family have a immaculate facility. It's one of the cleanest racetracks we go to. Very well kept. The surface is nice. The fans are great. And this is kind of like a hometown race in a sense for a lot of us racers being from Indianapolis. All the wives and girlfriends and family members and friends, they can all drive to this one. So you get a good support system around you at this race. And when you can win and celebrate with them, there's nothing really that beats that. And on top of it, Bader family, they're known for, the pound of ice cream you can get at the concession stand. So you get this cool billet ice cream scoop that's one of the trophies along with the Wally. And when they do something special like that, all of us competitors, you want that gift.
Yeah, there's something to be said for people and organizations or companies or what have you, or events that do it right. There's really something to be said for that. And that comes off on the drivers. It comes off on the fans, the corporate sponsors and everybody. There's always been this saying, if you're going to do it right. And they do it right, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It goes for any profession, any employee, any worker. Some people do their job really great and some people do just enough to get by. And when you come across one of those employees or professionals that do an outstanding job, it doesn't go unnoticed. So we're always really happy to come race here in Norwalk.
So when I say the word speed to you, Austin, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
I smile first. I love speed. I've been driving race cars since I was 10 years old, and the speed, the competition was always, that fierce competition got me going, but really the speed was always something that caught my attention. I grew up circle track racing, and I was always the kid that would try and drive it into the corner 4 car lengths deeper than anyone just to feel the speed. So being home at drag racing and you race for speed is just very fitting. And like you mentioned earlier, my family's got a long lineage in racing, started circle track racing in 1930. And that's kind of why I wanted to go circle track racing, was to be like my great grandfather that I never knew. Just heard stories about him, and I wanted to do what he did as a young kid. So, and then evolving, my grandfather, he started drag racing for the Procks. He was a crew chief, raced nitro funny cars back in the 70s. Both of his boys, my dad and my uncle, are deep in drag racing. My dad, people think I'm biased, but he'll go down as one of the greatest crew chiefs to ever do the job. And then, my dad, he gets to race with his 2 boys, myself and Thomas. And, it's just what we love to do. It's awesome that you can get to work with your family. Working with family can go 2 ways. It can be horrible and everybody will hate each other by the end of the first week, or it can be the greatest blessing ever. And for our family, it's definitely a blessing.
No doubt. And it kind of piggybacking off of that, Austin, there's probably days when it's really going well. It certainly doesn't even feel like work, does it?
No, absolutely not. I get to drive a 340 mile an hour race car for a living. There's never a day in my life that feels like work, when I'm driving that race car. So, obviously this winter tested all of us, like I said, with the team change, we were working 15 to 18 hours, 7 days a week for a few months trying to get this operation up and running. And there was definitely times where, everybody's a little bit more irritable and a little bit more testy, but That's just human nature. You're going to have that. And the greatest thing about it is when you're working with family and employees that you treat like family, you can be upset one day and the next day you come in and, it's right back to normal. So really am blessed to be surrounded by the great people that I am.
We are talking with Austin Prock, NHRA, which, of course, National Hot Rod Association. They're going to be getting ready to roll this weekend at the Norwalk Raceway. I will tell you this up front, Austin. You're talking to a guy that doesn't like roller coasters. I get nervous on elevators. I flinch when people go by me on the highway at 70 miles an hour. And I promised the listeners I would ask you, and I said, I'm not going to come right out the first question. I'm going to change it up here a little bit. But for the love of Pete, when you're going 335 miles an hour, explain what that is like and just take us inside.
Yeah, well, for me, it's the greatest feeling on earth. It's the fastest accelerating vehicle on the planet, and I get to be the one that sits behind the wheel and stand on the gas. So I love that adrenaline rush. I mean, these race cars are making 13,000 horsepower nowadays. You go 0 to 100 miles an hour in 0.8 of a second, less than 1 second. It takes about 60 feet to achieve that. And then in 3.8 seconds, you're doing 330 to 340 miles an hour on a good run. So we're pulling 6 G-forces through the middle of the racetrack. Obviously there's clutch dust coming up in your eyes. Your vision gets blurry. You get tunnel vision when the clutch starts kicking in and trying to rip your head off. And before you know it, you're at the finish line and you got to get the laundry out, toss the parachutes, and hope they blossom. And that feeling when those parachutes hit, you get about -8 Gs. So it's about a 12 to 14 G swing in a matter of seconds. And when those parachutes hit, if you didn't have your seatbelts on, you would go flying out of the windshield of my Ford Mustang. So it's an exceptional feeling. When you get out, your adrenaline is so high. I always say I feel like I could knock out Mike Tyson. And obviously, from your view right now, I'm not a very big guy.
You look dangerous in that car, though, man. I'm telling you right now. Austin Prock is our guest. All the big races are going down this weekend at Norwalk Raceway. Again, what was your time change? You're going to go at 12:30 and 2 p.m. on Saturday, right?
On Friday now. So they moved it up for Friday. There's some weather coming in late, and it looks kind of scattered, but you never know being this close to the lake. So better safe than sorry. It's a shame for the fans that we're going to come after work and see the night runs because that really is a spectacle to see. But, we got to do what we got to do sometimes.
Friends, if you want to get over, it's at 1300 State Route 18 in Norwalk, Ohio. It's the Norwalk Raceway Park. Tons of information on SummitMotorsportsPark.com as well. Got to ask, we're down here in Stark County, about an hour and 15 minutes away from Norwalk. I got to ask you, we're down here in the Canton Alliance area. Have you ever been to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Are you interested in any other sports? And if so, what are those?
So my entire childhood, pretty much my whole life up until about 5 years ago, I'm 30 now. So it was racing only. That's the only thing I ever cared about, watched. I live, breathe, eat, sleep it in. I still do. But when I bought a new house about 5 years ago and met my neighbor, Lee, and when I first met him, he's a big sports fanatic. Who's your team? What do you do? And I'm like, I don't watch any sports, Lee. I'm sorry. And he told me we're going to change that. And anymore, I am a diehard NFL fan. I love it. I love the Lions. I'm originally from Lansing, Michigan, and cool little tidbit. Now racing with Ford, that is the sponsor of the Detroit Lions. I got to meet all the general managers and the scouts, and a lot of the front office team a few weeks ago in Detroit doing a tour with Ford. So that was a really cool moment for me. And, I got the hook up on some Lions tickets now. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll be there this fall.
You're getting in on the good now. Lions are one of the hot teams in the NFL, obviously. And I've been to a couple of games at Ford Field. I've been to a couple of Lions games, a couple of college bowl games. I'm not really an indoor football dome kind of guy, but it's really cool watching a game up there in Ford Field. If you didn't get into racing, any idea what path you may have gone down, Austin?
Um, well, to be politically correct, I probably can't say what I probably would have ended up as.
Okay.
But I did end up going to culinary school right outside of high school. Culinary arts, cooking. That's been one of my passions my whole life. It was really only my only hobby growing up. I loved cooking for the family, so I ended up going and getting a degree in that. So I love to cook. Eventually, one of these days, when I retire, I'd like to open up a restaurant. Doesn't really sound like a great retirement plan, but I've always wanted to have my own restaurant. Have no idea where it would be, but love to cook, love to entertain. I'm always having people over to my house. I just threw a big Father's Day party last weekend, had about 30 people over to my house and cooked and entertained. And all day long, we had a great time.
Nice. So I guess we've kind of gone down this path just a little bit. How long do you think you want to race?
Man, that's hard to say. When you start winning and you get a taste of that gold, you don't ever want to stop. So,
Mhm.
I try and be smart with my money and set myself up for an early retirement. But all I've ever known is racing. I don't know what I would do without it in my life, and so I'm gonna probably race till I drop.
All right. Austin Prock is our guest. Again, everything happening this weekend at the Norwalk Raceway. Again, 1300 State Route 18. If you can get over, check them out. Support the drivers. Wear your earplugs. Check out the cars. It's a great event. If you were just a fan, and you had tickets to go to one of these big events, whether it was at Norwalk or somewhere else in the country, how would you approach the arrival time? What day would you get there? What kind of pregame? What are some of the activities you might want to check out? Take us through maybe in a life of Austin Prock, the fan, and maybe not necessarily the driver.
Yeah, well, first I would take advantage what NHRA has to offer. Every ticket, every general admission ticket is a pit pass. You can go up, you can meet all the drivers, you
Nice.
can get right up close to the race cars, watch the crew members tear, our 8-cylinder apart, completely rebuild it for the next run in about 30 minutes. So that let alone is exciting, but I'd get there early. I'm all about enjoying the event. I'd probably show up early with my truck, my Ford truck, and do a little tailgating, maybe bring a small barbecue and just enjoy the day. Bring people that you love, family members, friends, and enjoy a day together. Do some drinking, do some eating, and come watch the fastest accelerating vehicles on the planet.
Love it, man. Austin Prock is our guest, defending NHRA National Event Winner 2025 at Norwalk. He's going to try to do it again this weekend as well. Austin, man, this was an absolute blast. Thanks for taking the time. I know you've been on the media whirlwind today. Thanks for hanging in there, brother. Congratulations on all your success. All the best to the family, the team, and have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, and I hope to see a bunch of new fans out there this weekend. And this was a great way to wrap up my media day today.
You got it, brother. Thanks, Austin. Good luck to you,
Cool.
bud.
Thank you, guys.
There he goes, Austin Prock, NHRA Racing. He's going to be at Norwalk this weekend, Summit Motorsports Park, formerly known as the Norwalk Raceway Park.